It's Georgia camp week. We heard from Kirby Smart today. Jake Rowe, you were there, and the players are about to get it popping tomorrow. Rusty Manziel also on with us, and we'll have a special guest, Matt Godwin, former director of player personnel with UGA, and he's got a story or two to tell, and he knows ball. But before he hops on, Rowe, why don't you just catch us up to speed? You got a piece over at DawgsHQ with your takeaways from Kirby Smart starting the festivities today.
Yeah, pretty uneventful kickoff to spring practice, or not spring practice, preseason practice. It's about an hour past my bedtime, I feel like, but it's only 8:30. It was. I'm actually surprised. They've got 4 foot injuries to begin preseason practice. I'm surprised that's basically it. I know that we could talk all day about, those 4 are kind of one of those guys is on the men, Michael Williams. I guess all of them are kind of on the men. Branson Robinson and Smile Munden are running, but I don't know, man. That seems like I don't want to, knock on wood or whatever for you guys out there who, are the ones that worry about injuries, but that's a pretty good place to start from, with 4 guys that are banged up, but they're on the men to start preseason practice. There's going to be more. We all know there's going to be more. A couple other things that stood out to me, that Kirby's always worrying, man. Kirby is always concerned about something, and he's concerned about D-line depth. He's concerned about offensive tackle depth. We can move on to the process. I mean, listen, man, we got this, Rusty. We got this this media guide, right? That's the point of the media guide this year, y'all. You want to talk about like not putting a player on there, not singling anybody out, not putting a coach on there. Rusty, they didn't even put David Cooper on there.
They just put
I don't know.
I think David would have loved to be on the front of that.
It says 23. It says it's got the little thing of Sanford Stadium that you can barely see. It says media guide, and then underneath it all it says toughness, connection, resiliency, and composure. Very understated. So you know that the process is a big part of everything. We dive into all that over at DawgsHQ, where, by the way, you can get 1 month for $1, or you can get 25% off of an annual subscription right now if you want to come check us out. But very understated thing. He talked about a lot of different stuff, and you can go over to DawgsHQ to see all that. But those were the things that kind of stuck out to me. I don't know what's going on with that media guide, man. I've never seen one that didn't have a player on it.
I think that they were going to announce Guthrie's was going to be on the cover, and it didn't get Guthrie's didn't get announced till today, so it didn't make.
There goes Rusty. He's going to Guthrie's. I think Kirby might have designed the front, man. I don't know. Maybe he had some artistic input into the design of the thing.
It didn't dawn on me that it might be just completely intentional to do it that way until I started showing it just now. Like maybe it's just kind of one of this, hey, listen, this is a team deal. I don't know, maybe that's a symbolic, the New England Patriots running out being announced as a team in Super Bowl. What was it?
Yeah, that first one they won.
Yeah, whatever was it. I can't remember what Super Bowl it was, but yeah, that one they won against the Rams. They wanted to be announced as a team, and maybe that's what this is. I don't know.
I was interested to hear a couple things. The injuries that you pointed out, he pointed out his observations of Carson Beck as a leader, and he said that he's just kind of an even-keeled dude, and we don't really know much about him. And when I say we, I mean the people that aren't covering the team day to day, because he hasn't really had to speak to the media too much. He's kind of been behind closed doors, and that's Kirby's observation of the guy. And his word to all the quarterbacks, no matter who wins the job, is just to be where your feet are. I think that's good advice for anybody, especially someone that's trying to be a quarterback of the best team in college football, but also all the guys that are already on campus that have been there since spring and summer, how he has to kind of explain to the younger dudes, hey, it's not summer anymore. This is the real deal.
Sorry, I'm muted and unmuted. The jumping back to, kind of, what you're talking about with the quarterbacks about being where their feet are. man, I thought one of the best things he talked about today was, hey, I don't want these guys, and he didn't use prisoner, but that's the word I'm going to use. I don't want these guys to be prisoner of the results. I want them to be prisoners of the process. I want them to be obsessed with the process, obsessed with getting better. And honestly, man, if you go, jumping back even further, if you go back to spring when Carson Beck and Brock Vandegrift, I know I've brought this up many, many times on this show, but it is a quote that has stood out to me, and I will respect the kid from here to the end of time. I don't care if he ends up selling Chevys or if he ends up, as a Hall of Fame NFL quarterback. But Brock Vandegrift to saying, listen, I would have transferred if I didn't think I was getting better. That's a guy that the process means something to him, and I think Kirby's got a good group. I think he's got a good group of guys there in that quarterback room that aren't going to be obsessed and aren't going to be prisoners to the results. They're going to buy into the process. And, if that's what he wants out of that group, I think that's what he'll get out of them. And the thing about Carson Beck kind of stood out to me as well, Wes, where he called him very laid back. Kirby Smart, Rusty, not very laid back.
No,